G'day all, welcome back to part 2 of the Shark Bay Expedition series. Picking up from where we ended in part 1, we are now leaving our camp at Harold Bight, heading for Steep Point, with a couple of stops along the way. If you ever visit the Francois Peron National Park, you'll notice that there is a tyre inflation area, which is a pretty good thing for us because our compressor was pretty slow. We had a quick look through the small museum on our way through, then headed out to the other side to a natural hot spring with a tub built above it. The spring pumps out water above 40 degrees Celsius, which made for a pretty warm sight. Definitely worth a visit if you're in the area.
That's just the toilet that's big.
With the Francois Peron National Park behind us, we stopped at Denham to fuel up and restock for our 225km journey to Steep Point. About 45 kilometres out of Denham, we stopped to check out Shell Beach and see what it had to offer. Shell Beach, much like the name suggests, is made up of millions of little shells that covers the entirety of the bay. We were also fortunate enough to see a couple of shovel-nosed sharks hanging near the surface.
Ah, you're reading? You're as bad as her, trimming her f***ing nails. Well, oh my god.
Hitting the turn-off to Steep Point, we weren't too sure what to expect with the length of bitumen before the corrugations, so we spared airing down until that point. Much to our surprise, it was about 40 kilometres. Right up until this point, all the driving is on road, and despite the corrugations, pretty tame. But after this checkpoint, you start driving the dunes and across beaches to get to the point. Eventually we made it to the ranger station, had a good chat with the people there, and were designated a campsite based on the size of our convoy. Our campsite for the next couple of nights was now at Blackie's Bay.
Blackies.
Right, the first one. Right, just coming up on your right now. Thank you. Where the f*** he needs to park.
We are currently post snorkel and spearfishing. Had a good bit of fun. Quite a few islands and reefs to check out up and down the coast. Pretty wicked spot. But now just finishing off with a bit of lunch. Getting the Weber preheated. Gonna have some bacon and chicken strips. So we've just packed up from our campsite at Blackie's up in Shark Bay, and we are on our way to check out Steep Point. Head there for the first time, see what it's like, and then drive along the cliff line toward the blowholes, possibly go further south and check out Crayfish Bay and False Entrance Bay, and just have a good drive along there and see what it has to offer. But an absolutely incredible campsite back at Blackie's. Tons to do. We were fishing, snorkeling, spearfishing even, just off the reef. That's literally just off the beach, so it's an incredible spot. So hopefully there's a bit more potential up north where we're going. Find out. Some pretty incredible drop off there.
You said you wanted to, you go first.
No, you're convoy leader, mate, go for it.
Exactly, I'm the leader, you don't want to lose me.
notice the tracks heading into Steep Point after the ranger station are pretty tame and are easy to get around. Heading away from Steep Point, we quickly checked out an area that goes down the edge of the cliffs.
Tough question.
Being back at camp, we threw on a roast, cracked a couple of coldies and enjoyed the area. So we are now back at our camp at Blackie's Bay. As you would have seen from the footage, Steep Point is an absolutely spectacular spot. Just the size of some of the swell rolling through there is just absolutely spectacular, and smacking against the rocks on the cliffs is absolutely tremendous. Anyone thinking of coming out to Steep Point, highly recommend it. Absolutely spectacular spot. You wouldn't see much else like that in WA. Some spectacular coastline, but it's pretty unique. Unfortunately, we didn't get to visit the blowholes, Crayfish Bay or False Entrance due to time constrictions. We've got a roast to throw on and wait a couple of hours for that to cook. Unfortunately, that took a bit of time, but we will be doing it one day. And yeah, like I said, anyone thinking about doing it, absolutely jump on it. Couldn't recommend it any higher. So we're here for one more night. So last night up in Shark Bay, and then we're heading back to just north of Geraldton to a place called Horrocks. Spend our last night there, and then shoot home and end the trip tomorrow night. Unfortunately, so it's gone incredibly quick, this trip. But we'll definitely be back here. So we'll see how we go. If you're wondering how to have a quick and easy shower setup for your car, it doesn't have to always be a complicated or expensive job.
So just got a quick shower, easy setup going on here. Basically we've got a easy 15 litre jerry sitting in the storage system in the car, and that feeds to one hose, the shower hose, feeds directly out here, and the other goes obviously to the power bank, and that allows the water to flow quite smoothly through here, and making a nice quick easy shower whenever you need when you're on your road trip. Quite limited, but makes for quite a refreshing thing. Okay, John's got it all over there. Don't get them all and just like.
Putting Shark Bay behind us the next morning, the Hilux and Troopy were southbound for the last night of the trip. Our destination was 430 kilometres south in search of a decent surf spot to wrap up the trip. Finally, after travelling roughly 1,500 kilometres over the trip, we were able to break out the weddies and have a surf and relax on the beach we had found, which made for a pretty good way to cool off after travelling for about 6 hours through 45 plus degrees of heat. After pulling up into a caravan park for the final night, I inspected the engine bay and noticed that the corrugations from Steep Point had rattled off a few things, in particular my secondary airbox and the diff breather filter.
Uh-oh, she's starting to crumble.
Can't have that, no.
Unfortunately, that concludes the Shark Bay series. A big thank you to everyone's support for this series, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button for more uploads. Cheers.